all right.
Can you make my hair look like this?
Oh, man, what you want to make your hair look like that for?
See, that's the problem with y'all today. Y'all don't know nothing.
Will you let the man tee you off? You yap worse than 6 barbers.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Your Barber Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Ballot, a.k.a. Matty Blades. Anytime we mention any kind of handles, we're always referring to Instagram, IG. That's the handles. So every now and then I'll mention that. So yeah, this is episode 15. Unfortunately, this week, no guests this week. So I'm gonna talk a little bit, and then we're going to do footage that never really got to see the light of day. Or used on the podcast. I had some stuff recorded with clients. I basically mic'd up some clients and filmed the cut and edited it down, and I never really figured out a way to incorporate it into the podcast. I'll do it today because some of the videos dated the subject matter we're talking about, but it's still some good stuff. So this is sort of like when on Chappelle's show when they had the Lost episodes, because basically what they did there, they played all the skits that never made the air. So that's kind of what I'm going to do today. Before we get into that, I want to go ahead and remind you guys to like and subscribe the page and comment and just keep that engagement rolling. It helps for the algorithms and stuff. I appreciate all the viewership I do have up to this point. It's been fun. It's been a ride. And so yeah, I just wanted to do a little intro here to bring you guys into this footage that hasn't been seen yet. And the first one I believe I'm going to play is with my client Mike. This was recorded back in March, so we're talking a lot of March Madness. I'm not a college basketball guy these days. I haven't been since the Big East broke up. I'll kind of get into that. But speaking of that, I mean, the Big East has kind of been, obviously UConn just won the national championship, so Big East is kind of back. It's about 5 minutes plus of video, and then this was the first recording that me and Marc Russell did, who's back on episode number 13. It never really got used, but it was a great conversation, and we're just bullshitting more or less. We talked about his financial expertise a little bit, but yeah, for the most part, it's just us BSing and just like we always do. So enjoy the next couple videos, and next week, we're going to have a guest that is a co-host on the Barber College Success Podcast. So I had on Craig Charles, who's the creator of the podcast, on his co-host next week. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a cool episode. So until then, you guys take it easy, and I'll see you next time. All right, so after you buried the body, did you use the lime or no? So what are we doing today?
I hit the clippers you gave me. Like a 1.5 on the sides, and then kind of keep some length on the top.
Cool. Same old. Taper out that neckline.
Yep, same old.
How was work today, my man?
It was busy. I basically went nonstop from about 9 to 4, but it's done now.
So explain to the audience of 5 people what you do again.
A business consultant for Georgia Pacific.
For what? Georgia
Pacific. Yeah, and some of its other companies.
Consulting. That's a pretty wide net there. Sometimes.
It's a pretty wide net, and what I'm able to discuss gets pretty narrow.
Say less. Like, so you got in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, right. That's a good topic. Yeah. Yeah, because you're a Broncos fan, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Got my Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
I thought you got hit on the wrist.
That's what I thought too.
And then, like, I saw he was hurt. I'm like, great. Yeah. This game's over. The Broncos got Sean Payton, man.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. Yesterday it was official.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people are already talking about Michael Thomas. I'm like, kind of damaged goods.
Yeah.
Plus, I doubt he's going to want to go play for that Napoleon complex dude, Josh McDaniels. Did you hear the story about Jim Irsay? I don't know how it's leaked out. I think his wife probably run her mouth at the salon or something. Playing odd behavior, and he was in the bathroom for hours. Like, oh my God.
Huh.
Like, was this a Harry from Dumb and Dumber situation? Or was this guy just on every drug under the sun?
Right.
Yeah, don't flush the toilet in there. The music stuff. So he said, make yourself at home. Football thing and the skills competition.
Oh, yeah.
I keep seeing like old throwback videos of like the old skills competition. And they're so fun, man. I remember those. Those were a blast.
Those were fun to watch.
Good throw. Caught some of the red. That'll be a point.
There's like jug machines. Had like 3 of them, and it'd be like Chad Johnson like spinning, catching one, spinning.
Oh, yeah.
The third one was like extra high or something.
Yeah.
Just smacked the shit out of my phone. All right.
Person.
He still wins, though.
Wow.
15.5.
Wow.
Chad Johnson.
Over and over in my household. This is it. Football's almost over, guys.
Yeah.
We can be a happy family again. You know they got a barber shop in there in the Hawks Arena?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Kind of not surprised.
I'm just like, who the hell would get their hair cut during a game? And the guy sitting in front of me, he's like, that's what I said. I'm like, right? He's like, well, it's the All-Star break. I'm fucking broke.
What about college? You got a college team?
In terms of basketball,
Yeah.
doing it when the like Big East kind of dismantled. Like I was a huge, college guy back then. No, it just changed everything.
Yeah. I was watching like a 30 for 30 the other day on the Big East.
I'm a freshman in high school. I was a big Syracuse Orange fan back in the day because I'm a Carmelo guy. The Big East tournament was going on. Those early, they started like noon and shit.
Right.
And so I was watching the Syracuse game. They had this guy named Jerry McNamara.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he won his senior year, and he was on like this magical run. He hit game winner after game winner until they made it to the championship.
Yeah.
And they won the whole thing.
Yeah.
So the Algebra 1 teacher, so like I'm in French class, and me and a friend just like disappear and go to Mr. Springer's class watching this. He's sitting there the whole time like flipping out with us, and he's like, are you sure it's okay you're in here? A runner at the top of the key to win the game.
Tough to tell from that angle, but we had a good vantage point because we're...
Next game, I think they're playing UConn. Hit the game winner, buzzer beater. Or no, it brought it into overtime. So we're in there even fucking longer.
Wow.
Counselor's office or whatever.
It's worth it.
And I just remember he was like, listen, I like playing my guitar. You guys like playing or watching sports. Just say you're sorry. I'm like, fair enough. All right.
There you go. I definitely remember their championship run. I was a KU fan at that time.
Oh,
so, yep. Nick Collison, Kirk Heinrich.
Kirk Heinrich's the guy that got his shot blocked, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Shot Hakeem Warwick.
Yeah, Hakeem Warwick.
Hakeem Warwick was an animal. That was like Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah.
Jerry McNamara was on the coaching staff last time I saw him.
Yeah, for Syracuse, right?
Yeah. Just waiting on Boeheim to finally hang it up.
Right.
I don't know if that'll ever happen.
Yeah.
He even made it through murdering a guy.
Yeah.
Well, you can make it through that. You can make it through anything.
Man, yeah, exactly.
Old age. Shit, I murdered a guy.
Seemed like the Ray Lewis Club.
Yeah. I remember my dad always gave him shit because he'd pick his nose live on TV all the time.
NC State history is
What is that thing?
It's my phone.
No, that white thing.
Oh, a battery. The store was out of milk.
Well, don't forget me when you become the Joe Rogan of barbershop podcasts.
I got you. Go get your payola.
Yeah, it looks great.
All right, my man.
Perfect.
Okay, thanks. Thank you.
I would be dead by now.
That's how we
Like,
start the
what?
recording right there. Yeah, like I don't know if I ever dream of shit per se.
Really?
I just have nightmares when I
You
do.
just have nightmares? They're not like ever good dreams?
Not usually.
No.
All right. So we're live.
We are live. We're here in the barbershop.
So what are we doing today, my friend?
Same old, man.
Consultation.
Maybe
Any of these videos, every single one of these videos I've done, it's been the same thing.
Yeah.
They say same old thing.
Same old thing. Make me look good.
I'm not gonna do one of these fake consultations. Put the client. He's like, yeah. So what I normally do, it's like, would you fucking cut the shit already?
I mean, you can give me like a solid mohawk, and if you can get my hair to grow, that'd be great as well.
We'll switch it up.
Whatever works. But yeah, no, the dream, like I woke up and I was like, oh God, like we didn't win. Then I looked at my phone and the only big news I saw on my phone was the fact that KD's
Kevin
being
Durant, exactly.
traded. I'm like, oh my God.
He's
like,
gonna be in Phoenix. There's a whole bunch of Arizona shit right now.
yeah, they're winning right now.
I heard it's super cold right there right now.
In Arizona?
Yeah. Now super cold, I don't know their definition of that.
I mean, their super cold is like 90 degrees.
Usually.
I have a friend lives out in Phoenix, and she was telling me that it was 123 during the summer
Yeah.
of last year.
You get geared up for anything from like 116 to 122 on the reg.
Well, that's right. Like, you lived out that way, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Any time from about late May through late August, that's what you're looking at.
The first time I ever went out there, I was working for Vanguard, and we flew out. We had a conference, and I had to speak at a conference. And when I tell you, like, after a presentation, I felt like I couldn't breathe. And
Just the heat?
yeah, the heat and humidity, or not, maybe not the humidity, but like just the heat.
It's that
And
sauna heat.
yeah, and they're like, "Did you drink any water?" This is before I had like a strong appreciation for water.
Yeah.
And I was like, "No." They're like, "Bro, you're gonna pass out."
And you don't notice that you're
Yeah.
as dehydrated as you are.
Exactly.
So people like die from dehydration out on hikes because they're not sweating as much. They don't realize they're losing the liquids they're losing.
Exactly.
Or however the fuck it works. I'm not a scientist, but
I'm just a barber.
yeah. Just a barber over here. I'm not going to act like I'm wearing a lab coat. But,
I'm just a barber and knows a couple things.
From what I heard, a lot of people disappear there on the old hikes.
Right.
And I'm not talking about Joe Pesci
that for
being
me?
a company.
Say again? Yeah. Yeah. Oh wow! They're on it like that. They better not boot
Perfect,
my
dude.
Don't boot my
That booting company does not fuck around.
I know they don't. I saw.
I always tell people, like, you're parked there. I'm like, oh, you didn't pay? They're like, yeah, I'll roll the dice. I'm like, dude, get out there now.
Yeah, right.
Don't fuck around with this.
Like, there's nothing efficient about Atlanta at all. But when it comes to booting your car,
oh, dude, they're on.
efficient as fuck. That's like in Philly. Nothing's efficient in Philly. Like, they can't get anything right. But if the towing company says that you can't have your car there past 8 p.m. or 8 a.m.,
they're on it.
they're on it.
They're about as efficient as it gets.
And here's the thing: it's not even like they show up at 8:01. They're there at like 7:55,
7:50, yeah.
waiting, just being like, "Yo," like just doing the math. Like, all right, I got that one. I got that one.
I was just talking about this to my wife the other day. I was like, why do we never hear about, like, you know, you hear about murders and shootings all the time here, but you never hear about, like, a booting company, like, gets murdered by some pissed off.
Bro,
like,
you have to be brave. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, what kind of security of these booting companies got set up to where, like, that one that's like, all right, the guy's showing up to take the boot off your car, and there's no altercation.
And they're mad chill about it, like super chill. Like, as I was parking my car, I saw the lady. She was just like, you know, like as if she was just hanging out.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you know, just strapping the boots on this one car, this SUV. And I looked at her. She looked at me. She looked at me, I looked at her, and I was like, you better not, like, in my head, you better not do my
look
shit.
like this fucking piece of shit.
Knowing damn well I parked my car there, she still called my man, talking about, like, is that black kid? Yo? Like, what? Don't touch my shit. Don't touch it.
You're in our spots, right?
Right, yeah.
Wow.
I'm like the only one there. Like, why are they monitoring like that?
So this is what I'm talking about. Mark is very frugal when it comes to buying cars.
Oh my god.
That's a classic profiling case right there. The black kid, this guy can't be going into the shop.
Straight up.
So
yeah, she definitely saw me. She saw me park the car.
guys crossed eyes.
Yeah. Now, I know one thing about Atlanta is that, like, there's scams happening all over the place. I feel like that's, like, that and valet trash are, like, the two biggest scams in Atlanta, in my opinion.
Valet what? Trash.
Valet trash?
Yeah, we're talking
Bro,
about.
do you ever have that in your apartment? Or, like,
I kind of had it
maybe
in
in, like, Arizona?
Yeah.
I'm telling
just
you.
hear them rolling around at, like, 8 p.m.
It's, like, the perfect business model, but the fact that they make it mandatory is a scam. Like,
I don't even know if it was like we were getting charged even. Like,
no, they don't charge. Like, here, they charge you. It's
Yeah.
mandatory. And I didn't know that for, like, 5 months. Until I looked at the statement, I'm like, wait, what is this charge? And they're like, oh, valet trash. And I was like, I haven't used it at all. And I started doing the math. I'm like, all right, they're charging us, they're charging the apartment $25 each. You multiply that by, like, 100 people per floor, right?
Yeah.
And, like, take out all the people who actually use it, which is, like, maybe 10 people on the floor. Like, they're keeping all that money. And times that by, like, we have 5 floors.
They're Uber Eats in it right now.
Right.
They're like,
We're getting a guaranteed, like, there's nothing. The best type of revenue, the best type of income is recurring income, where
Right.
you know the money's gonna be coming in regardless. Like, if I had any business in Atlanta that wasn't my own, like that I have right now, like, I would do valet trash.
it's like we're covering the loan through just the valet trash or the valet trash fees right now.
Right.
That's how.
Like, could you imagine that? If you were a barber, you charge $50 a haircut, whatever it might be, and you have, I don't know, 100 clients,
Yeah.
and you know that they're, like, reoccurring, you're going to get that money
Yeah.
every single week. They're going to be like, yo, like, I don't care if you show up or not. Like,
Right.
I'm still going to get that bread. And, like, you just basically have, like, a subscription model going.
Right.
That's how these companies are
I
doing
wish
it.
clients were like that. You knew they were gonna. You could depend on them.
But you could, because what you do, if I was a barber, if it were me, I charge my loyal clients a really low rate,
Yeah.
but tell them that it's reoccurring. So you come in if you want to
Yeah.
every 2 weeks, and you can get as many haircuts as you want, but reoccurring is going to be the same amount. So
the subscription model.
instead of, like, $75
Big chains
a
are
cut,
actually doing that.
yeah, everyone's doing it. Like, Microsoft
That's
is
the
doing it
fucking
with Microsoft Office, where you have to pay a subscription. Before, it was like you just pay whatever it costs for the software, and you're good.
Yeah.
All the apps, they're doing it now. It's like,
yeah.
oh, download the app for free. Then it's like, you put in your name, you put in your information, then afterwards you're like, you want to take the next step? $10 a month. Like, wait, what?
I was trying to think of the barber shop. It may have been like B's or V's. I don't know. This was like an Arizona chain. They were charging some like super low monthly fee.
Wow.
And I was just like, how are they making any money? Like, it's the whole corporate thing I get, but like, yeah, I just couldn't understand how they were actually coming out on top.
Yeah. Was a subscription model?
Yeah.
Yep. Because
And like actually paying people at the same time.
yeah, I'm telling you, like, you charge that low amount, you know that money's coming in. And, like, the people that go and get their haircut, some months they might remember that they're on subscription, other months they won't. You collect revenue either way.
Mark is a financial expert. That's why he's dropping some gems here.
All I
It's
think
second
about is
nature
money.
to him. That's what he thinks about constantly. So
All day, every day.
Makes sense.
Constantly running the numbers.
Since I have you on the actual pod, we'll definitely talk a lot more
I should
about
be
that.
crunching numbers, bringing out the calculator. Are you guys going to the Beyonce concert?
Did you get tickets?
Oh no, hell no.
Oh yeah, I saw the content though. You were saying like, here's how you
Yep. Here's how you can afford them.
afford the
next
Beyonce
time she
ticket.
goes on tour. But I
You
mean,
watched the Grammys?
yeah, a little bit of it.
We like rewatched it.
Well, like I normally don't watch that kind of stuff because I mean, I feel like it's irrelevant for me.
So did you see the Trevor Noah, like, I remember it was on like Baller Alert and shit, like, when fucking Harry Styles won, what was it, Album of the Year, Pop Album of the Year,
Album of the
Year. Like Trevor Noah, like, gave the mic to the like white old lady.
Yeah, she was like trembling.
They made it seem like, you know, it's like, oh, Beyonce didn't win, so I'm going to give it to this white old lady. It was like, no, that was totally out of context.
Yeah.
Don't throw Trevor under the bus like that.
I never even thought about that. No, she was like,
well, that's
trembling.
what like the caption was on Baller Alert. Like, he was so disgusted he couldn't even read it.
I mean,
and like, I'm not a big Harry Styles guy either. I fucking hate Harry Styles, honestly. I'm like, what kind of like label puppet is this guy? He's wearing like fucking overalls and shit now. Like, what's this guy? Come on, this isn't him.
Yeah.
We know this isn't him. Anyway,
I don't know too much about him. I know about Beyonce, like, but I don't know too much about him. One thing I would say, and hopefully the Beehive doesn't come after me for this.
Yeah.
But if you look at the Grammys website and you look at each one of the artists and you look at who helped to produce the album.
Yeah.
If you look at Harry Styles, you have, I don't know, maybe 20 people, if that.
Yeah.
Look at Beyonce's, you have to scroll. You know how you have to scroll like on your phone?
Yeah.
You have to literally like, you gotta do one of these numbers.
Well, the very first thing I noticed while I was watching it live, I was like, look at the Dream sitting up front. And I was like, look at the Dream sitting by all these fucking huge people.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's because he fucking made all this shit. He wrote all this shit. That's why he like accepted one of Beyonce's awards when she wasn't there yet.
Exactly.
And I was like,
they're
okay,
the
the
people
Dream's in the
behind it.
mix here.
And don't get me wrong.
About enough.
Like she is a musical genius for sure.
Oh yeah.
And marketing genius, and you know, a pretty good singer.
Takes a team though.
In terms of actually producing all that stuff
and writing,
she would admit that in writing she would admit that she needs help. And I think, I mean, I don't know, who am I? But like, I think when the Grammys are looking at that, that's a big factor.
And this isn't the first time her and the Dream have collaborated. He's up and down her whole discography.
Right.
All these other huge names too. So that's not spoken enough about how the publishing money from all these huge, you know, hits and artists. Like what's behind that? That goes a long way. But I was back to the Trevor Noah thing. I was talking about that because if you watch the actual full Grammy show, they kind of had this like the fan segment where they like were choosing fans to kind of represent each nominee. So the old lady was Harry Styles, like representative basically. It was like a Harry Styles super fan.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So like throughout the whole show, they kept like coming back to her and be like, "Who do you think's gonna win this?" Harry.
No, I didn't see.
So yeah, that was the context. So that's why he handed the mic to her when he won the biggest thing.
I thought
just like the internet just took off and ran with it.
No, I thought he chose her at random.
Yeah, I did too when I watched it on Baller Alert, and then it wasn't until I watched the whole thing I was like, "Oh, is that the old lady from when he actually wins?"
Yeah.
So they kept going back to like, "Here's why I think, fucking Dua Lipa is the best artist on the." So they just had like different fans representing. Like, so I was like, okay, this makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. I mean, the way I look at it is like, I feel like Beyonce is so accomplished.
Oh, yeah.
Why do you care to be accepted by the Grammy committee. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
it's a whole thing that
I get it. Like, it's like winning the Super Bowl
that
as a
academy
player, but,
board
like,
and everything. It's a whole fucking racket how they gotta get nominated. And
it's
everything.
like, it reminds me of like when you go to the gym, you see someone like working out really hard and they're already like chiseled. It's like, bro, you won already. Like, you won. Like, you don't have to do it anymore. Like, bro, just maintain what you're doing. You don't have to put 1,000 pounds on the bench press. Like, you're good. Why are you trying to get any bigger?
Right. I was getting pretty hyped watching that 50-year hip hop thing. Did you see that?
I love Missy Elliott.
That was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, you realize how many
part.
queens are in R&B and pop?
So many.
I was like, all right, we got Queen B. All right, great. All right, we got Mary J. Queen. All right, Queen Latifah. All right. It just kept coming out with more queens.
Well, like back then, Queen was the way to go. I mean, the same way with like Lil Wayne, Lil Boosie, Lil Romeo.
Fortunately,
Lil Bow Wow.
that hasn't changed.
Yeah.
They say hip hop's supposed to change every 5 years.
Yeah,
I feel like it hasn't changed in like 8.
We have Lil Baby, then we started getting real creative and we're like, duh baby. Like, ooh. Switching it up.
Okay, now we're now we're really diving into the creativity here. All right.
So funny.
So yeah, I woke up the KD to the Suns.
Yeah.
I almost just like I threw my phone like I'm like, dude, I can't take it.
I think what's like most interesting out of it is that like you had Kyrie there, you had Kevin Durant, they brought in Ben Simmons, then Kyrie left, and then a week later Kevin Durant is gone. So it's like, what is Ben Simmons going to do? But that's like what he wished for when he left Philly.
If you're a betting man, here's the bet I would make right now. Any team in the Western Conference that's in that top 3 range, I'd probably go Denver Nuggets. I would just make a wager who's going to win the NBA championship now on a different West Coast team. So you might get better odds because a lot of the public's just going to automatically push all their chips to the Phoenix Suns.
Yep.
When that's not how championships are won.
No, not at all.
You just don't put a bunch of psychos on one team. We saw that with the Brooklyn Nets. Didn't work.
Right.
So
yeah, I don't think the Suns are going to win it this year. They're definitely good. They're going to be contenders next year.
I was hoping they would have won that year. They play the Bucks that year.
Yeah, they really won.
That was supposed to be their year.
I love a good story, you know. Like I love when people kind of, I mean, being from Philly, that's what we're all about. Like working hard and not really caring about the accolades before the championship. That's all that really matters. Yep. And that year, they put their heart and soul into it, and they just couldn't win.
Right.
I mean, it reminds me of like the Bills this year, like and last year and the year prior. Like they had a great team, great defense, and they just couldn't put it together when it matters the most.
Yeah.
And I feel bad about it because, I mean, obviously I want Philly to win.
Right.
But
so you started this recording saying I had a dream last night that Philly won the Super Bowl, and he was like, "That's never good."
No.
It's my dreams don't come true.
Yeah, they normally, I mean, in terms of like when I'm awake dreams, they come true. I make sure they do.
Right.
But like in terms of like when I'm asleep and I have a dream, they never really come true. They're always like some weird, like some pipe dream that like I have. But I don't like dream about like, this is probably one of the most logical things I probably ever dreamt about. Right?
Yeah,
they're always just like weird off the top.
Typically aren't, in your sleep at least, realistic at all.
Right. They're
Things
always
that you think of that would be a dream, definitely reachable.
They're always just things that never really made sense.
Right.
I'm like,
yeah.
Why did I dream of that? But yeah, I mean, hopefully the Eagles win. I mean, I want them to win because, obviously I'm a fan, but I also am a little jealous that I'm not in Philly anymore. Yeah. Like when I tell you that we partied that entire year in 2018,
Yeah.
Like, we partied the entire year. Like, everyone was happy for an entire year in Philly. And if they weren't, we'd be like, go Birds, and then they immediately get happy. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy how a football team, like sports, can really drive the emotions of an entire city. Like,
No doubt.
it's so wild.
This bar, so you can't reserve anything there.
The one that we're going to?
Yeah.
No, you can't reserve. There's so many crazy Eagle fans. There's no way that like we're like the first to the reservation. So,
You think it's 21 and up, or you think I'm able to bring Soul?
probably 21 and up.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I was thinking too.
Fuck. What do you think?
I don't know. It's probably gonna end up messing me up.
Yeah.
We'll find out though for sure. I don't know.
No, I went there once. It was kind of rowdy. I would.
And a bunch of Philly fans are just gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. I don't think it'd be a great experience for her.
Yeah.
If she's even allowed in.
Not that my daughter has been subjected to me, watching The Sopranos or some shit. But
Right.
it's just gonna be constantly. I fucking knew it. Be a lot of that going on.
Yeah, and then she's gonna go home and say the same thing. Yeah. Fucking knew it, Dad. I knew it. Right. They're like, where'd you get that from? Oh yeah, we went to Eagles Bar.
That's normally watching my Broncos play. They fuck us every time. I fucking swear.
How you feel about the new coach coming in?
Oh, I love
it's
it,
not new.
I was watching the
Sean
presser. I was watching his intro press conference there, and he's talking that talk. It's a lot of talk about Russ's personal coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, that's the soundbite that every talking head's gonna take and run with.
Yep.
They'll be like, "Oh, Russ can't have his personal coaches in the building."
Well, what are they saying about that?
World. So they basically asked him, and he's like, "I don't know what was done before," which he fucking definitely knows what was done before.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take a job. Your franchise QB is getting paid a ton. Pretty sure you're gonna know what's going on or what has been going on, but. I digress. He was like, "Yeah, not sure what happened before, but that's not happening this point forward."
He's only been there for a year, right?
Russ?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got his own office, and he brought in personal coaches. I don't know if they were throwing coaches or trainers of some sort. If they're not on the staff, basically, Peyton's like, "That's not happening anymore."
Do you feel like they should give him a little bit more slack, or
Who, Russ?
yeah, or is he really fucking up?
I'm not mad at all about the office. A quarterback's supposed to put in the second most amount of work on the team. First is the head coach and coordinators.
Yeah.
So he's clocking in early, he's clocking out late. Why not give him the office? I know people are making a big deal about that. It's what's the problem?
Right. Now,
They just nitpick every single little thing about him.
do you feel like his performance has been lacking though? Does he deserve the criticism he's been getting?
If you watch the full games like I am, I've seen plenty to be encouraged about, but I've seen plenty that's what the fuck is going on right now?
But it's the first year.
Yeah. And that's the thing, you got first-time head coach, you got quarterback that's got a chip on his shoulder that's always been painted as someone who's been held back from doing his thing, like Russ Cook. And then so he kind of had a little bit of I can show people that I can handle the full load. So there's a little bit of that, a little bit a coach that has no fucking clue what he's doing. And it's a horrific cocktail that's mixed there. And it didn't work. And then you mix in our, full jacket of injuries, but
Yeah.
I won't make too many excuses with that because a lot of teams who are actually, Super Bowl contenders and shit like that, they just make that excuse all day, every day on why they didn't as if no one else is dealing with.
Yeah, everyone
injuries.
hurt at this
Right.
point. Like I feel like half of the Eagles staff is like injured across the board.
So I laid a little wager on the Eagles.
You bet against them again?
No, I bet on them. That's the thing. You can't take too much favoritism into your heart in betting.
But like, no, you should bet against them. Like you did that last time and we won, right?
Yeah.
So
but I also said like whoever's winning this game is going to win the Super Bowl. Like I think they have the better roster compared to KC for sure.
Yeah.
But the coach, it was a coach mismatch that I'm a little worried about.
I feel like we're gonna get out coached.
Right. If Philly's built to beat the Chiefs.
Yeah.
They can control the clock, control the ball, keep the ball in Mahomes' hands. That's the blueprint. That's always been to beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, we gotta get him on the ground somehow. I don't know how, but he scrambles a lot, just throws the ball behind his back, like the Travis Kelce, perfect spiral. And it's like, what do you do with that?
The Eagles are favored by 1.5. So I saw the game is projected to be 20. The score is projected to be 26.2 to 25. That's the projection of the score. Yeah, I heard from Vegas experts and guys that know their shit this morning on the way in.
That's why I don't gamble. It's like what?
So they're expecting a high-scoring game. So that's how you kind of have to bet your props, the propositional bets. You kind of have to correlate the bets. So that's kind of what I was listening for this morning, what props they like. I never quite got to that point.
You placed the bet today?
No, I bet, I want to say on Monday.
Okay.
All the bets I ended up making.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we can pull it off. But
always love betting the coin toss. That's one out of the gate. It's always fun.
See, all that just gives me anxiety. Like the fact that I just want to watch a game and like not.
I remember I was hosting the party last year, and as the national. Oh no, I bet on the national anthem too. How long it takes to sing the national anthem, the over under, which is probably my most fun bet.
So, like,
proposition-wise,
do we know who's going to be singing this year?
No, that's a good question.
Do they tell you like beforehand? I feel like we find out like as it's happening. It's like, ladies and gentlemen,
they know.
Aretha Franklin.
Dude, last year they put out this video of fucking someone with a stopwatch outside the stadium. They could hear them rehearsing, and the caption just said like, "If you know, you know." And I'm like, this mother.
Is that even accurate though?
It had to be pretty close.
Because like
I made my
it'll
bet
be the
based
echo
off of that.
Because then you have the echo, right? And then it takes some time for
that too.
Sound to travel.
And it's hard to tell when the fuck it started.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because the very first sound that comes out of her mouth, that's when the timer starts.
See, it's me overanalyzing again.
Yeah, no, this is good.
Like, well, like. Sound travels at this speed. By the time he picks it up, then
no, you gotta get scientific with it.
Yeah, I wonder.
But no, I was hosting a party and I was in the middle of timing the shit, and like all the guests started arriving because Super Bowl, they don't give a shit.
Yeah,
they're there for the dip and the fucking commercials.
Yeah,
it's the thing. You host a party, you always
It's so funny. Like I was asking my audience online. I was like, oh, like, who are you rooting for the Super Bowl? And, you have some people said, Eagles, some people said the Chiefs, and other people are like, Rihanna. Like, they literally are coming to socialize and watch Rihanna.
No doubt. Yeah, I'm kind of pumped for Rihanna. There's another one that's got fucking, you got to scroll down the fucking discography or the credits to figured out who actually wrote the damn song.
Yeah.
There's 12 people writing a 2-minute song. It just makes no sense.
Where half of the words, half of the lyrics are basically the same. Yeah, yeah.
It's just like
they throw in some Drake and he says a couple bars. Right. There's a hit. But here's the thing. I mean, they got the
Rihanna at least gets credited the ad libs, right?
Yeah. The thing about it is, like, they're doing something right.
Oh yeah.
Like they're delegating all that stuff.
There's no 10-person
like,
writing team unless something's going right.
Right. And for some reason, people can't like duplicate that.
No.
There's only one Rihanna, only one Beyonce.
That's why I love, these guys that end up, they get sick and tired of writing for Justin Bieber, and they're finally like, I'm going to be the artist now.
Yeah.
Like, that's Frank Ocean. That's 100% his story.
Yeah. Which is awesome. I love that. He's, like, so unique in his own accord.
Oh, yeah.
And could project, like, he could be bigger than Justin, but I don't think he cares for that,
It was pretty good. But yeah,
I never had Celsius before.
They're pretty good.
Does it have caffeine in it?
Definitely has caffeine.
But you don't
It promotes it as like healthy energy and shit like that, not like jittery energy.
Interesting.
Promotes that it, helps boost your metabolism and shit like that.
I never really got into any of that stuff. I just went
It's
straight
good.
to Coke. No, I'm just
We're talking about C4 the other day, how like they jip you. You open up the pack and it's like the bottom fourth is filled up.
Like I'll use that for like working out.
Yeah.
But like
No, some people use it to like go fucking the work.
yeah.
I had a
I'm
client
like-
one time that like they were saying like, yeah, I think it's because he takes C4 to just like go work a sales job. Wait, what?
I'm gonna be honest with you. When I first started taking it wasn't after I started doing it when I was working at Vanguard and
You're talking Coke, right? No, I'm just kidding.
Coke,
About the Wolf of Wall Street movie, it's all coming together.
well, like my boss had me doing basically like 5 different jobs, and like normally when you do 5 different jobs, they expect you to not execute on all of them flawlessly.
Right.
Mind you, I'm getting paid like $50,000, so like
Right.
I can give a shit. Right?
But you had some incentive base, like goal. If you
Yeah,
had some
a little
goals.
bit, but like if you hit like the top ranking, you'll get like another $5,000,
Oh, that's it.
which is like nothing.
Right.
When I was younger, it was like, oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
But like you start doing the math, and it's really not much of anything,
Right.
especially for all the work that you're putting in.
Right. That's what it's about.
But like
Time and effort you put in.
I was trying everything to like give myself more energy, because at the end of the day, I was dead doing all the work. So I tried Coca-Cola. I was drinking that, and that didn't work.
Just regular Coca-Cola.
Yeah, cause like it gave me some like rush, but then I crashed.
Yeah.
And I tried coffee, that didn't really work.
How much weight did you put on
Oh my god!
at the beginning
Let's
when
not
you?
even talk about it.
They're just sitting on your ass when they're Chinese food, right?
Oh my god, it was horrible.
So I put on probably 15 like in 3 months. It was right out of the gate.
In college, they call it the freshman 30 or whatever.
Freshman 15.
Freshman 15. I had a freshman 40. I put on
Really?
40 pounds from the day that I graduated from high school to the end of my freshman year. I was skinny mini. I was like
Yeah.
Kevin Garnett skinny.
Got
Not
you.
tall, but like I was tall. But
Oh
like,
yeah, I
not
was gonna
tall.
say, come on, don't cut yourself short here.
But I was like mad lanky and skinny, and then I went to college and I started like working out and eating a shit ton.
Yeah.
I put on
The
all
thing about
kinds of
working
weight.
out, it's gonna spark that appetite.
Yeah, but then when I got into corporate, I kind of realized like why everyone around me, all the older folks, especially the men, were just like wildly overweight.
Yeah.
Is because you work that job and it's stressful, and then you're just sitting down the entire time, and then
You stress eat when you finally get a break.
if you get like
Then you get home, you're like, God, I got to decompress somehow.
Right.
Here. How am I going to do this?
and you decompress by eating food and sleeping
Right.
and laying down.
Exactly.
It's just like a sad reality.
I saw a barber meme the other day. It's like barbers heading to Wingstop after a 12-hour day,
Yeah.
cutting 25 heads.
It's really easy to do, and like now I just try to focus in on like having balanced meals and thinking to myself, yeah, it's not going to be as good, but I'm going to be happy with myself tomorrow.
Yeah, part of
nothing
any
worse.
success I have in dieting is because I'm busy working.
Yeah.
Because I'm on that intermittent fasting thing.
Yeah.
That helps me out. But yeah,
But yeah, first year in corporate, I probably put on like maybe 10, 15 pounds. Nothing crazy, but it wasn't.
Not compared to what you put on in college.
Oh, yeah. I was already fat back then. Yeah.
Like, I was one of these guys that I was like a little heftier in high school, and then I lost the weight after high school. Part of it was, I cut my toe off, and I got in like the best shape of my life after that, but that's a whole nother story. We'll save that for the pod or something.
Do they know about that?
They don't. They don't. That's a whole other story.
Everyone, if you did not hear that.
I haven't even thought about that for
Matt only has
content.
9 toes.
All right, one's a nub. I still ask for a 10% discount
like
on a petty.
But is that like a real toe, though? A nub?
Yeah. See, the thing was, there was more back than there was front, so they kind of had to flap it. We'll get into it later. A lot of singeing, a lot of
super glue, and
a lot of numbing.
I swear, I could never be a doctor. If you pull up with that type of shit, I'd be like, nah,
Looked like a firework went off in my toe.
Get the fuck out.
Right.
Like, I'm not touching that shit.
Thing was, I already knew the guy that was doing my toe surgery.
How'd you know him? You cut off another toe?
No, I was an athlete in high school. I got these things called ingrown toenails.
Define athlete.
Exactly.
I just ran a little bit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was a full-blown all-American athlete.
I picked up all the skill position guys in the morning when we had to watch film. That was basically my role. No.
I was giving the water to the coaches. And to the
I was
players.
kind of always a hybrid guy. Like, I played fucking inside receiver, outside linebacker. I couldn't like make the times to run with the receivers at the end of practice, so I had to run with the running backs. But I practiced with the receivers all day because when I played tight end, like I couldn't block for shit. Yeah. So yeah, it was a whole
get ran over like Zeke.
Right, I had to find a whole niche.
You see that play? When Zeke got ran over.
You smell this one. Throw that one in.
You might have yourself a job.
Uh-oh. You want a job? Little Scarface.
Pay you real well.
You say less, man. I'm your guy. Thanks for watching another episode of the Your Barber Podcast. New episodes come out weekly on Sunday. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify to be notified when new content is posted. Thanks, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching another episode.